Greetings, fellow mortals. You know what? I'm constantly amazed at the level of incompetence that video game adaptations show. This shouldn't be all that difficult. I mean, think about good book adaptations. Most of the time, they work because they tell the exact same story from the book. Outside changes rarely work. I could really only think of a few exceptions like The Shining or Howl's Moving Castle. Other movies that stay more faithful to the source material always tend to do well financially and are well received by fans. It should be a license for movie studios, streaming services, and other large promotions to print large amounts of money. I mean, just look at the Sonic movies, for example. No one is going to stand up and say that they revolutionized movies or anything. They're fine films, nothing wrong with them, nothing great about them either, except for the fact that Paramount and Sega listened to the fans. Remember the early Sonic design? That just sucked. It could have been easy for Paramount to ignore the criticism and keep the old design. Instead, they listened to the fans, respected the source material, and made large amounts of money. Emphasis on that last part for the companies behind these adaptations. The Sonic movies made large amounts of money. Yes, real money, movie studios. Real money. So that's the key, right? Respect the source material, give the fans what they want, and make large amounts of money. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. Nothing about this whole process seems difficult to me, but the companies behind all this just can't seem to help themselves. And this isn't going to be an attack on wokeism or inclusivity or anything politically correct. I don't care about a character's race, gender, or politics. Great art can come from things with the political subtlety of a jackhammer. Just look at Spec Ops: The Line. Would anyone call that subtle? No. But it's amazing and I love it. It definitely has its clear criticisms of war, America, and gaming in general. So, it's not politics. That doesn't get in the way of a good story. So, the next thing that comes up is race and gender. You know, it's been a trend since the 2016 Ghostbusters movie for a studio to swap around the existing characters and lore, write a bad script, and then call everyone sexist or racist for not liking it. And I'm not saying that there weren't horrendous comments by trolls. There were, and obviously I condemn them. But 2016 Ghostbusters didn't suck because of the female cast. It sucked because the writing was a pile of poo-poo kachoo. I could say the same thing about the new Halo TV series that came out this year. I don't care about the gender or race of the new characters. The writing was just plain bad. Nothing made sense. They didn't respect Halo. They didn't respect the fans. I don't even think they respected themselves. And it showed. By God, did it show. It felt like everyone involved was going through the motions because of the money involved. I felt the literal disdain for the source material in the show. Did anyone actually want to make this garbage? I know that no one actually wanted to watch it, at least not real people that actually like Halo, and I'm saying that as a more casual Halo fan. I mean, my favorite movie from this year is Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's a film that focuses on a Chinese woman. That's not the factors that I care about. Everything Everywhere All at Once is just a perfectly written story. So why doesn't Netflix's new Resident Evil show work? It's not the politics, the race, or the gender of the characters that make it suck. Is it that the writers are bad? No, that can't be. It's not like they don't know or care about what they're doing. It's not like they look down on Resident Evil for being a video game franchise. It's not like they hate their own inability to make anything of high quality. Now, I know that I'm throwing a lot of shade here, but keep in mind that I've been digging my own grave with my own writing for a while. I dedicated myself to self-publishing my novel at the start of 2023. If I'm late, then I deserve the shade that I get. If my writing is terrible, then I deserve the shade that I get. If I'm a lazy or ignorant person that doesn't care about my work, then I deserve the shade that I will get. And that's the thing about the Netflix Resident Evil show that really makes me mad. It would have been easy to find people who care about this franchise. People love Resident Evil. It's a beloved set of games that just so happens to have never had a decent adaptation outside of its original medium. Netflix, you could get people to pay you to write a Resident Evil story for you. I'm not even the biggest fan of the series. I've only really played Resident Evil 4, 7, 8, and the remake of 2. I am no expert. 4 out of what seems like 500 games isn't a lot. But I can tell that this show has nothing to do with the games just from what I've experienced alone. It's like they took a random zombie script and slapped Resident Evil and Umbrella Corporation on it just to get more attention. Not like that Netflix can just promote whatever it wants and get people to watch just any random trash. Just ignore that Big Mouth has plagued the earth for many years at this point. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I've watched every episode of this garbage show. I did not. I gave up after 2 episodes. But by the look of things, it didn't get much better. I don't get what's so hard about just taking the plot of the one game, slapping it on television, and filling it with fun action scenes. Even the new Mortal Kombat movie did better, and I thought the story of that film sucked. We've just reached a new low that I just can't comprehend. To me, it's clear that a lot of these studios just hate video games. They look down on games as being lowbrow entertainment. They hate that video games make more money than most TV shows or movies at this point. They hate that anyone can make a great game. They hate that their medium just can't be exploited like games can. I'm calling you out, Diablo Immortal. You're the most immoral thing that I have seen from video game design in a long time. Side note, I mean the game practices themselves, not talking about the weird sex perverts involved in making these games. So, Netflix's Resident Evil show is garbage. I suppose it's not like we've ever gotten a good adaptation of these games. All the movies sucked, other Netflix projects tanked. I know that Resident Evil isn't known for its glorious writing or intelligent dialogue, but can we at least get better than the blackmail joke? I mean, that has to be the worst line in storytelling that I have ever seen. If you can think of worse, leave a comment about it, because it would have to be a doozy to eliminate that stupid line from my head. Before someone calls me racist or sexist or homophobic, I would like to point out that I think that this is the most racist show that I've ever seen. I feel terrible for all the black actors involved in this nonsense. They were given a pile of trash to work with. Why would you give them such terrible writing? Do you think that they don't deserve good writing, Netflix? Do you think that they don't deserve effort? Do you think that they're less than Caucasian actors? If you're gonna change everything and feature black characters over the established characters, at least treat them with more respect. I don't know. The only thing that I got from Netflix's Resident Evil show is that they hated everything involved with it. So, what do we do now? My suggestion would be to ignore this trash and pretend that it never existed. As for me personally, I'm gonna go back to worrying about Resident Evil 4 Remake. I swear, Capcom, if you mess this up and then remove the original game from history, you will create a riot that will burn everything to the ground. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my takes on storytelling, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It would really help me out. Also remember that I will be self-publishing my novel, Dance of Frozen Death, at the start of 2023. I hope that you will check it out. I appreciate you. Do not despair.